Hello everyone, a.Lennart here, another Steel Division Normandy 44 replay. Spot on the south side as the 6th Airborne, the Red Devils, we have a.Lennart. Spot on the north side as the 100, no, that's not 100, I was thinking 716th, but no, this is 352nd Infantry. So we most likely will have an early advantage for the Axis player, or ideally, because he does have more income, but Battle Phase B, there would be a substantial advantage for the Red Devil player. And then it'll start to even out, but still a little bit behind. So overall, the Axis player needs to make sure he gets an early aggressive advantage. We do got a lot of infantry being sent over here, various infantry here, including a Panzerjäger 35. We do got some various infantry squads over here, just largely a defensive force here. He may be eyeing to push forward here. There is an HE Tetrarch here. And does the Magic get a pinned down on this Pack 38? That is massive. That is the only thing that can take out that unit. Now he only has Ostruppen. Well, Ostruppen are good. You can really count on Ostruppen. No, really, you can. Not versus a tank. There's a little bit of quote from Compeers too. The Ostruppen say, "You can count on Ostruppen." No, really, you can't. Because these Ostruppen will get pinned down, most Ostruppen will just get melted away by these airborne paras, especially at close range. They do have 4 SMGs, as well as, and they do have a single LMG for long range, so they're very effective close range, not to mention the veterancy and all of that. We do got 2 mortar teams, so overall, very, very good plays by the British airborne player. The tickets still, however, very similar. At this point in the game, they don't mean all too much, having 25 difference. So he's starting to gain some ground in the center map, which causing a huge bulge, gaining access to a lot of ground for the Axis player. The Allied player has these flanks reasonably secure, push forward over the 50%. We do got these Fusiliers now moving forward to this Willys MMG. This is a medium machine gun. It is M1919, so it's not exactly too effective, but may be able to pin these Fusiliers in open ground. We got some reinforcing mortar teams here. We got, looks like the 181mm, and do got a field gun here. Here, I'm guessing it's probably a 3-inch mortar. Could be a 2-inch. Airborne snipers are pinging away, but he's in range of the MG42. The MG42 does, of course, have superior range at 800 meters versus snipers of only measly 500 meters. What makes snipers good is the ability to snipe. Looks like the Panzerjäger said death to that Jeep. Fired 1 AP round, destroying it. Could have been HE. I think either way it would be dead. HE will probably be a bit of a better option, actually. Because if you miss, hopefully the resulting explosion will take it out anyways. Looks like this Vickers MMG HMG is suppressed thanks to these Ostruppen. The Pack 38 managed to recover, so this, and did in fact take out that Tetrarch. Shame that I missed that, but taking that out was actually quite important. Overall, very good amount of ground has been gained to the center of the map, but still, he has not gained a +1 advantage. He really needs that +1 advantage because you'd be facing a huge economic deficit for the rest of the game. He will have a bit of time before it actually evens out, but time is not in the Axis player's favor. We got another Tetrarch now moving forward. These HE Tetrarchs, I'm not exactly sure how effective HE Tetrarchs are. They do have 1,000 meter range in comparison to other AP Tetrarchs, which only have 800 meter range. It does only have 9 HE, so I would say it's probably reasonable. I'm not exactly sure how effective it is, actually. MG42 teams receiving sniper fire, maybe 2 bullets, and then will be pinned down. But we'll be sending some counter shots back at it at the sniper team now. There you go, now it's pinned down. Very good sniper play. You don't see snipers all too often. They're not tanks, definitely not tanks. So you need to make sure you hit these small man teams that cannot retaliate in time to kill off the entirety of the unit. I know the Fulton Jaeger sniper has a range of 600 meters, or this range of 500 meters. Oh, it gets pinned down. Oh, the Pack 36. I think it was ordered I was thinking it may have been force firing the ground in order to pin down the sniper. That's actually quite good. A very good idea. If you can't take this, you can't deal with the sniper. Might as well force it back by force firing the ground. All-Schuben here, still holding the line. This Vickers team may in fact get taken out. The All-Schuben, they're equipped with the LMG, so they're actually quite reasonable even for cannon fodder units. Scripted forces, whatever you want to call them. The Star Trek starting to move its way along the line. 2 Panzer Jaegers are out on the field. They do have accuracy of 5, so not incredibly effective. They're pretty nice to have playing infantry company in Battle Phase A. So this was a 3-inch mortar. These now we even got a 120mm mortar out on the field, so we do have a large amount of indirect fire being deployed out by the Axis player. But they're very, very close together. He has to be very careful and not to wait. He loaded up the 120mm mortar in the Opal Blitz munitions. You can do that. You can load up units inside of munitions trucks. I'm not exactly sure what he's planning exactly, but he refilled these mortars with some ammo, and now he's going to drive off. But you don't send a huge mortar. That's where you pretty much get it for the additional range, really, in my opinion. You don't want to send it too close to the front line. Here would be an excellent spot if you're going to move it closer, which he does. So now that 120mm mortar with excellent range to affect the nearby area. Very good coverage. Some reinforcing infantry squads. Looks like these All-Schuben units did in fact go down. Didn't see how exactly they went down. The fact they are down means there's just only this officer here. This AT gun may get a very good hit. Will roll a miss. Cause a lot of suppression, but that doesn't cause very little suppression in the Airborne Bren group. The Airborne Bren group does, of course, have 2 LMGs, 2 Brens. They're actually automatic rifles, not exactly LMGs. Or are they considered LMGs? Either way. This time, it's really hard to make a difference between, explain the difference between automatic rifles and LMGs. Probably because LMGs more have a smaller magazine capacity, such as like the Browning, which had 20 or 30. We got a flak 37mm flak Irving, so he will force away any infantry advance he's trying to hide right there. I'm sort of surprised we haven't seen any Mosquito Pathfinders. Those are incredibly powerful assets for the Red Devils. Ooh, fall back. This AT gun here did manage to get some good amount of suppression hits here. Next shot may in fact take it out. Ammo explosion, death. But we do got some AA weapons coming forward. That is quite a bit of AT loss. We do got some Fusiliers behind small or in this small bush, so they do have a bit of camouflage. Not perfect, but better have something than nothing. The 3-inch mortar will be displaced by the 81mm. This 120mm had received quite a bit of fires down those last 3 men. And we do got the first aircraft out in the field, the Typhoon, not the Mosquito Pathfinder, which I'm really sort of surprised. And didn't even manage to drop off his bombs. It was forced back beforehand. That flak Irving getting some very good hits. We start picking away these units. This Tetrarch CS, the second one deployed out in the field, is still alive. He looks like he will be firing upon some of these units, eyeing for that truck. Oh, in this Ostrupen way over here. These Pathfinders will be peppered by the Flak Irving. These airborne brand groups are way too close. Ostrupen can use... Well, actually, the brand groups does, of course, have 2 SMGs, so they're still superior than Ostrupen at close range. Even though they have also 2 LMGs. 200mm mortar trying to displace these airborne pairs. Ostrupen running low on their LMG ammo. It looks like the 120mm mortar will force the pin down of the airborne paras. Help really aid it anyways. We do got these Pathfinders moving forward to these Fusiliers. Pathfinders only have 7 bolt action rifles, and there's LMG on these Fusiliers, making them having superior firepower. They both have equal amount of men, but 1 less star, but has, like, both of them actually have life cover, man, never mind. But I would say the Fusiliers will win this hand down because they have an LMG. We got some reinforcing infantry across the line. I haven't seen all too much. Battle Phase B has been initiated for a minute 20. We do got 2 mortars. These may be 4.2-inch mortars, so the big mortars may be coming out. Airborne paras, they do have 4 SMGs, so they will actually rip apart those Ostrupen, even though they have less men. And he can't really move these vehicles all too close to the Pathfinders. They do have some heavy gammon bombs. Typhoon fully repaired, now coming out for a bomb round, trying to displace these Fusiliers. That's probably a very good target, trying to pick off these individual units so you can start pushing the front line. Tickets are actually in favor of the Allied player at 286 over the 119, but that can still go either way. So with Battle Phase being initiated, the economy will be greatly in favor of the Allied player. There goes that Tetrarch. Probably about time for it to die. When you get into this phase, you'll start seeing more and more medium tanks anyways. Of course, this is the infantry division. I think he can only get Stugs, maybe Panzer IIIs. I'm not sure what this infantry division gets. I think Stugs and Panzer IIIs. Another Tetrarch CS? That's a bit unusual, to say the least. I would have imagined he would have got that, because he knows it's a Panzer Jaeger. And in order really for this unit to really be successful, he needs to make sure he's inside the city-ish area, but he will tentatively be a bit more exposed to these Panzerfaust, which are actually not coming out on the line. He knows he's fighting against Ostrupen, and this is actually the first Grenadier out on the field. This Grenadier is not a Panzer Grenadier. It has 1 LMG, but still have access to Panzerfausts. This Pathfinder unit is still pinned down the SMGs as well as bolt action rifles, keeping them forced down. We do got this Tetrarch CS. We'll actually make short work of the Fusiliers. Panzer Jaeger could respawn, does have superior, actually have equal range, but with no AP to worry about. We do got a Pack Howitzer now out on the field. This unit does, of course, have 5 shots of AP, but he needs direct line of sight. But we do got massive indirect counterfire onto the Pack Howitzer before we even got any initial shots onto it, before it gets his first shot off. I'm not exactly sure how he spot that. Maybe it was just a lucky hit. Actually, it's the 120mm mortar, so he must have fired he's fired 6 shots in total, so he must have counter-fired it immediately once he realizes it's there. I'm sort of surprised he didn't counter-fired upon where the 120mm last was. I mean, he has not moved these mortars, period. So that's a very big oversight by the Allied player. Field control is in favor of the Axis player. He's starting to count up. Do got another Pack Howitzer here. Multiple aircraft coming on out for the Axis player. 1 Vet 0, Focke-Wulf 190, and 1 Vet 2. So you will have air superiority over that one bombing typhoon. This AT gun will be very needed in order to take out this Panzerjäger if it becomes problematic. Ammo truck for these 81mm as well as some reinforcing infantry. We do got a number of airborne units here. We do got some air landing units. They're only 7-man squads. Nothing too effective, but they do of course have the Piet, so they're all decent all-range round squads. No veterancy, however. But these mortars are being very problematic. An AA weapon. Most likely it's a Bofors. I'm guessing it's a Bofors. Actually, it looks like a regular Polston. So it'll be interesting. It is just a regular Polston. It's not exactly a really effective model. Regular Polstons just doesn't seem that all too good. Tri-Polstons are excellent, but regular Polstons, not so much. Maybe he's using it for more anti-infantry support rather than anti-aircraft. That's actually a bit more reasonable than as I think about it. Airborne pairs now engaged by these Osttruppen as well as Grenadiers. They are all at, well, some of them are in bolt action rifle range. Actually, a lot of them are. We do got time on target. We do got 107mm off-map artillery now being called on into these airborne paras. These airborne paras are not firing. This one is. So they have 2 LMGs to bear versus 1 LMG with a larger number of bolt action rifles. Here is the time on target. First round missed. First round miss. There's the second round complete miss. I think that may be been out of the circle. So do got the very reliable 81mm mortars softening up these airborne targets. We do got Osttruppen moving in as well as Pioneer support. Pioneers do of course have have an LMG as well as 2 very powerful bundle grenades. You got a radio calling unit over here. Is a naval battery unit. I believe that is a naval battery unit. That is one massive artillery piece of 381mm. I think that's a 18, maybe 15-inch or 18-inch gun from naval artillery. We'll call on time on target. This will annihilate these infantry units. There's a lot of advancing infantry over here. Hasn't made too aggressive push over here, but there's this Panzerjäger to deal with this Tetrarch CS. Airborne Bren Group will spot these Osttruppen because they're receiving fire from them, and the Tetrarch will go ahead and aid them quite significantly. We do got some aircraft coming forward. There's a Typhoon AT and hit this radio operator vehicle, but does fire off his rockets in time, but it was a large scatter thanks to his high suppression and being forced to fall back. Huge amount of aircraft is currently smoking. Nothing here to prevent the fire. There is actually a Polston here, but the Polston is not exactly the greatest anti-aircraft, but will barely manage to save this Typhoon. I would say that was a bit lucky that it was shooting back within the Polston range. We do get the naval battery barrage completed. Significant amount of damage to these units. I can't really zoom in all too much, and we're starting. My computer lags up for some odd reason. Oh well. We do got these airborne pairs now moving forward. Did a great job stopping at the target. We do got another time on target over here. This is another juicy target using this naval battery very effectively. Here comes the barrage. Almost wiping out 2 units. It wipes out the field gun. That's a very valuable target to hit. There are still these mortars being very problematic. Looks like there was another open blitz here. Not sure where it went. Unless they finally patched it out, so if a munition truck's out of ammo, they can just despawn the damn thing. What's the purpose then for a munition truck that's completely out of ammo? I'm on targets from this 107 from the 170 millimeter. Just is a very long duration, so it's not immediate effect. It's more of a sustained effect. You got these Ostroopers trying to move forward these buildings, but these air landings are here as well. Air landings do have 2 SMGs, but they're not in heavy cover. Very problematic, but the Ostroopers have only 1 SMG. So most likely the air landing will lose out, but they would have sustained a lot less losses if they get inside that building. The other Polson now providing some suppressive fire upon these Pioneers. Field control is still in favor of the Axis player at 52% at 600 tickets versus the 280. Howitzer providing some smoke fire. That's what I'd like to see. Smoke to cover your units, especially for these airborne units, which they have most good chunk of their firepower are SMGs. You got this open blitz. It looks like it's completely out of ammo. I think you reposition. This is the one that was originally over here, filling up the 120 millimeter more and moved over here. And we do got Nebel Warfare, 2 Nebel Warfare batteries. Those they did fire barrages to here and here. A lot of units are pinned and falling back, and that fire will sustain additional damage to any unit that crosses into it. These are just Nebel Warfare 41s, not the Nebel Warfare 42s, but they're still very deadly. This Polson is completely out of ammo, which would be very problematic to do anything now. You got this Focke-Wulf 190 eyeing for strafe. No, he's trying to air support on this Typhoon. And the Polson's completely out of ammo. But there is air superiority. Tempest will get enough suppression to force the aircraft back. The Ju-87G is now moving forward. However, he may be able to take out this Vet 1 Focke-Wulf 190. He in fact will, but now he needs to reposition to this JD-7. However, problematic that he's ordered the strafe but didn't actually fire against anything. But neither aircraft will go down. The supporting anti-aircraft fire will ward away the Tempest, in fact doing a significant amount of damage to it. This JD-7G will be forced to fall back. These mortar teams, I would say these mortar teams probably may have got the most amount of kills for individual units. See, there should be, additionally, there should still be one more time on target. He could try running forward to hit a very powerful, potent spot. Nebel Warfers have not moved. So this would be an excellent spot, but of course, Fog of War. And knowing most players, these guys are very high ranked up, I believe. They probably should have shoot and scoot almost all the time. Either way, do got a universal carrier with its Bren versus Pioneers. Honestly, I think the Pioneers bundle grenades will actually take it out, no problem, if they get in the range. We got Willie's MMG here. Could deploy out this unit, maybe another sniper unit, could be a Pathfinder unit. Skeeto Pathfinder, finally we see one of these guys. We'll fire off all of its bombs in this general area, but make it taken down. There's a Focke-Wulf 190 here. Yeah, doesn't even come close in the range of the Polson. Fire came in, and that when I try to zoom in, it will take out that 120 millimeter mortar. But we'll miss the Nebel Warfers. We got the last call in with this 170 millimeter call in off map artillery. We still have one more naval battery. And it was an airborne sniper. We'll pick off that Ostroopin. First round did a very good suppression hit. Ooh, Pathfinder's in range of the Pioneers with the bundle grenades, so he can't be able to stay there all too long. Next bundle grenade will come out soon. We do got Ju-88 coming out. This has 2 25 HE bombs. 2 very big bombs, but falls back before it actually fires. Drops off the bombs, which is actually very problematic. It takes quite a bit of time to redeploy it then, even if it didn't use up all of its ammo. Pathfinder unit will be taken out by the Pioneer squad. Bundle grenades are very effective at doing that. Typhoon coming in for a couple bombs. Will probably suppress down the pioneers. May force a surrender. I think these mortars... No, that's a Nebel Warfare, not mortars. Nebel Warfare firing off its rockets. This one is currently still... Looks like just fired as well. Our area will be saturated with fire. Fire and fire for that rains from the sky. I'm not exactly sure why my lags up as I zoom in. Maybe I needed to reduce the close settings when I'm zooming in. Oh well. I like the animation fire because when you zoom out, it doesn't render everything. When you zoom in, then it does. Maybe I turn off grass. That may fix it up. Either way, pioneers will be cleaned up. You got this typhoon. Most likely will get shot down. The Polson is trying to fire. He actually will fall back. Oh, there's an air supporting fire. That's why he fell back. He didn't want to lose it. We got the Airborne brands as well, Airborne paras. We got a large wave of reinforcements, 2 mortar teams as well as an infantry unit. Looks like the anti-aircraft weapon got taken out. How did that get taken out? Most likely, probably this Pack Howitzer may have been the reason for it. 2 Nebel Warfares. Oh, he's eyeing for a large saturation of fire. And he does have... This one's out of ammo. He does have an Opal Blitz to go along with it. 1 Nebel Warfare lining up the fire. Will cause significant amount of damage across the area. Will force multiple pin downs, as well as multiple model losses. Nearly wipes out that 2 frontal squads. We do got Pioneers as well as a Pioneer Furor moving forward. Pioneer Furor does have 1 bundle grenade himself, but will probably get mowed down by the machine guns. JU-88 bombing the area, destroying the MG Vickers. I'm gonna call it. It's dead. Currently, field control is in favor of the Axis player. Actually, no, it's 50-50, but he has sustained enough tickets to win out the game. Next Nebel Warfare barrage came on in, pinning down the rest of the units. Very, very potent hits. We do got the Willys OP. Is that the same one over here? No, it is not. So he does still have more off-map artillery to call in, more naval batteries. No medium tanks yet. We have only the Panzerjäger, a tank, anti-tank unit, and Tetrarchs. No tanks. We got another 107mm observation vehicle. And you got another JU-88, so he has 2 of them available to him. I'm a target. This will be a very good barrage, but these bombs will be also very good. He may in fact lose that Willys. He lost that. That's a huge blow. He doesn't even know about it. That is a massive blow. And losing the JU-88, that's also another massive blow. Both sides losing a significant amount of assets on this flank. The naval battery did a very good amount of suppression. All these units are currently pinned down. These airborne leader could force a surrender on one of these grenadiers. Though I think the MG42 may be able to recover in time. The MG42 has in fact recovered. So now, once he gets the visual range, he probably can suppress down that airborne leader. You got the grenadiers here as well, so he will force pin down of the airborne leader. These aircraft initiate a dogfight, but haven't been able to get any angle. We do got Cromwell 4 now moving on out. It is a command unit, so we'll have to inspire nearby units. Typhoon came on here for a bombing run. Not exactly sure where. Like the Focke-Wulf 190 had seen a couple bullets. Looks like at this rate the Tim's going to win, but they're both going to run out of fuel at this rate. More and more Cromwells are now coming out on the field. We have this large wave of medium tanks, and we do have, so Ju-87 does have 9 armor penetration, 2 cannons, so it can actually deal with the Cromwells, but these Polstons can ward them away easily. It's a very slow moving aircraft. Ju-87 coming in for a run, rolls up 2 sets of misses there. We'll be lining up another shot. This unit's almost pinned down, or suppressed, forcing a fallback state. Last's cheap supply can give out a handful of rounds. But we got the Nebel Warfers now launching a barrage. We'll wipe out that Universal Carrier as well as pretty much wipe out that air landing unit. A lot of units are down to 1 man here. Seen some shit. They watched all their friends die. We got some smoke coming on down on Command Cromwell. Ju-87 could go in for another sweep. He has air escort available. He's lining up a barrage attack onto this Cromwell. Will get a weapon damage, so it's completely unable to fight now. And this cheap supply is using up the last of it, refilling this Polston. But that's it. This Ju-87 will in fact fall back. We'll call immediately another Jeep supply for it. He actually needed the munitions also elsewhere, so that's a good idea. We got this Ju-88 coming for a bombing run, most likely trying to hit this Cromwell, maybe? I think he's actually going to annihilate this air landing, which is actually a huge waste of bombs. He must not have identified there's only 1 man left. 2 Typhoon bombers are coming on in. There's a Pack 40. It does, of course, have HE rounds, making it excellent versus even against infantry targets. But there's 2 sets of bombs, 4 bombs. We'll wipe it out entirely. We'll protect also this Cromwell as well. So that was the only AT asset in the area. We do got another ku2521. We do got the Nebel Warfers forcing the Cromwell back. That is a very good idea. He needed to force that thing back in order for him to actually live out. Field control is currently still 50-50, but at this rate, the Axis player will still, in fact, win. We've got this Cromwell moving forward. It is a very close range with this Pack 38. Could get easily a penetrating shot. Will get the penetrating shot and destroys the Cromwell. Cromwell has no ammo at the moment. Will be resupplied shortly. This Cromwell is currently in a fallback state. It probably sustained a huge amount of HE damage. Doesn't look like it's severely damaged. Damage. Typhoon rocket run will pin down the MG42. Now these Pathfinders can go in and force surrender. Typhoon AA or AT is going to be receiving a lot of fire. Ooh, but the naval battery wipes out 2 ammo trucks, 2 mortar teams, Pioneer, Pack 38. Holy crap. Now that was a money shot, and that was the last barrage on that one. Oh, there was actually another one there, so they may have used up all the barrages on this one. That is a significant amount of assets lost. There's now only Pioneers here for defense. These half-tracks can have an MG, but that's it. And he's calling another time on target onto these radio operator vehicles. Ooh. He's going to miss the Nebel Warfers, however, but still, these naval battery units are just annihilating. They're basically just point, click, kill everything in a radius if you don't keep your stuff spread out, properly spread out. We got field control in favor of the allied player. Currently, he's counting up at 40, but he needs +2 in order to win the game. At this rate, he will only tie up the game. Time and target's going to be calling on in 2, 1. Annihilation commenced. Holy crap. Pins down all 3 Nebel Warfers, takes out 1 of the radio operator vehicles. I'm not sure how many barrages that one had left. I think that may have been the older one. This is the newer one. He may be out of barrages anyway with them. Not a too devastating barrage, really, in comparison to this previous one. Still 2 Cromwells here. This Cromwell hasn't refilled. I think he assumed he was close enough for resupplying, but I guess not. I'm not sure. We got the next naval battery being called on in. These Nebel Warfers trying to reload. This one is actually almost reloaded. Massive ground has been sustained. He's got the +2. These universal carriers, he realized he needs to capture as much ground as possible. He's calling it an airstrike upon this unit. Now being the falling back state, he's no longer providing map pressure. If he can reclaim down to 50, yes, he reclaimed the plus down to +1. At this rate, the game will still only be a tie. Massive pin down here. He will wipe out those anti-aircraft weapons. His unit actually recovered. He needs to call another he's coming for another strafe. He should just keep one. He will, in fact, destroy it entirely. But now we got 2 Typhoons coming for some bombing runs. He does have 2 air supporting aircraft. One before. We'll take out 1 Nebel Warfare. But we do got air supporting fires now coming in as well. He took out already out all the AA, calling J-87 to take out that other universal carrier, trying to remove the field control. We do got a mobile wagon not coming on forward, but he may lose the J-87. He may be reprioritizing to do that. He will take out the J-87 as well as the Focke-Wulf 190, but they probably won't take the rest of the game to repair up. Anyways, JD-88 going to be using his last bombing run. He was no way he was going to have another bombing run after this. Anyways, losing that is not a huge deal, actually. Actually, he just bombed and killed off one of his own pioneers as well as the Pathfinder unit. Looks like the rear machine gun managed to force away one of those aircraft. And we got 2 command Tetrarchs now moving forward, trying to eye for as much ground as possible. That's 2 MG-42 for match pressure. Still only +1. He needs a +2. There's a Pack 40 here, but it has no cover whatsoever. That's very problematic. This Poston can actually be the death of it if it gets into range. But this mortar will in fact take out the Poston. On the command Cromwell for map pressure over there. We got the Pathfinders here. Pack Howitzer doing a very good amount of work. Has done. Doesn't really have at this point in the game, it's all about trying to claim as much ground. You're trying to stop. At this point in the game, I would say it's decisively going to be a draw. He has claimed enough tickets, so will definitely be claimed as a draw. But I don't think he can't claim enough more, I believe, to get a victory. And vice versa, the Axis player will have to claim even more ground in order to get a victory. You got these Jeeps coming forward. I think he's just trying to claim as much ground as possible. He's desperate. He's very, very desperate. Nebel Warfare Barrage will hit pretty much nothing there. Big AT guns are coming on out. Nebel Warfares will force back this Cromwell. Will gain quite a bit of ground thanks to it being in the fallback state. There goes a heavy AT gun while it's still being in transport state. So he won't have access to that. But still, the Allied player will actually just overlap before the game ends in tickets. But he will not claim enough tickets in order to get a decisive win. Or minor victory, I should say. The truck trying to engage the mobile wagon. Receiving quite a bit of suppression. Will fire one shot back, but will be forced to fall back. As this game's coming to a close, both players played this game excellent. I like to see a game end up a draw. It means they are both playing very well. There's not one point in the game where it's like decisive win or decisive loss. Overall, pretty even the game. There was some points where I would say the Allied player was better. Some games points I would say the Axis player was better. But overall, very good game. I'm just curious. Let's see. Typhoon got a... That's probably the bombing one. The bombing Typhoon did claim quite a bit kills there. But I'm curious about those naval battery. Look, pallet. Boom. That was its #1 killer, that naval battery call-on unit. Ooh, look at that. Look at these. This 81mm mortar claimed 6 kills. That's very nice. What's the other one? Was this the other one? Yeah, just only 4 units, but that's actually pretty good. Those 2 mortars from the beginning of the game doing so much work. Very good amount of work. Either way, this is a.Lennart saying thank you for watching and signing off.